Alright, this is Talker Day, back with another Transformers review. I know I said my last video was going to be my last one for a while, but I got my packing done early and all that, and I still had some new toys, so I figured let's go ahead and review them. So, today I have Transformers Generations 30th Anniversary Whirl. And before we get into Whirl himself, I want to talk about his accessories. Let's first start with my least favorite one, this weird missile cluster pod thing. And they all have like these little 3mm clips on them and the pegs, but this one just I really don't like. I'm actually really tempted to just slice it off here. And then there's this weird camera pod thing that has no peg, but still has the clip point and the 3mm clips. I kind of like it, but what's funny is that on the packaging it says that it's a null ray cannon. I thought only Starscream used the null ray. And yeah, I've already broken one of the clips. I tried to clip it onto his rung. It did not work at all. And here we have his Hellfire missile pod, which is really cool, and it's got the clips and the pegs. Though really, they should have just stuck with the pegs on all of them. And this is my favorite one, his triple barrel Gatling gun. Oh yeah, that is nice. And, you know, you can take him, and this one actually slips right over his hand. And the other ones peg on to different various places. There's the peg port underneath his arms, 3mm clip here. This down here is a 3mm clip point. These are not, though. Do not clip onto these. You will break your clippings. So let's go ahead and get the accessories out of here and talk about Whirl himself. Now, yeah, he's posed really strangely right now because this is actually how he comes packaged in the box. Pretty much like that. And he's even got that collapsed in. Go ahead and lift the camera up a bit. So the way you're supposed to have them is you have the legs turned around like this, and you come back here and you pop out the back rungs for the heels, clip those in. What's going to happen is like this little clipping point here is going to clip right up there in front, like that. Pop the arms open, and there we go. We have him. Oh, and there's this really tight joint back here. Yeah, I do not like you moving that joint. Hopefully it loosens up over time. But you end up with this nice chicken walker look going on. Let's get his claws out. And, you know, I kind of like the whole chicken walker motif. It's alright. I prefer straight legs. On Whirl, Chicken Walker does work very nicely, because he's not a normal robot. He's supposed to be ugly and gangly and all that. And what's funny about this guy is that they actually really did mix the More Than Meets the Eye comic with the old G1 styling. Ended up with a really weird looking robot, but it's cool. It is. And he's got, his head can pop up on this extra joint here. And the lighting isn't very good in here right now, but his headlight right there glows like you would not believe. And you can even turn the light piping off, which is a really cool little gimmick. They did not need to put that in there, but that is really cool. I love the head sculpt. Very, very much so Whirl. Let's see here. Articulation-wise, he's got some interesting shoulders because he's got the ball jointed shoulders here. But then these ones are kind of like a combination universal joint because there's an interior twist there. There's an inward twist there, but if you move the whole thing around and then fiddle with it, you can actually get him to where he's lifting his arms straight up in the air on that same joint. It's really awkward. And yes, you can, if you so choose, get him to very comfortably cross his arms. And for those, and then, no. Then going down, oh yeah, his head's on a really nice ball joint. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Yeah. I'm tired right now. Universal jointed hips, swivel below the hip. It's got a huge, really good knee bend. But if you want an even better knee bend, lock that back down, turn around his feet to where he's got, you know, normal knees. And still, really good knee bend. Really no articulation in the feet at all, but you can pop that loose for certain running poses. it works well enough. So, and yes, he did come with stickers, and it's a nice sheet of stickers. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to put them on, so yeah. Backpack is actually pretty well done. Yeah, it's helicopter parts, but it folds up very nicely. So let's go ahead and get into transformation. What you're going to do is you're going to pop the head down like that. Flip this up. Split the backpack open. Pull out and collapse down the propeller. And as you lift this whole section up, you want to get that head in between those two halves, lock it together, and then this tab right there is going to go into that slot right behind the cockpit, like that. And as we transform him, you're going to want to, I'm going to wash off his third mode because he is a triple changer, like that. Slide that whole section back there. Take the tail fin, fold that up, and here we have his helipod mode. The name needs work, but you gun this guy up, you got yourself a Hellcat or something from Veritech. Personally, what I like to do is close the wings, close the hands up, get those mounted onto the sides, like so. There we go. Now you got yourself a Hellcat from, what would it be? Not Robotech, that's Macross. I cannot remember what game this is from, but it's a great game. So yeah. And you can tell that this was intended by the designers because this slide joint here is used for nothing else but this mode right here. Mech Warrior. That's the game I was thinking of, Mech Warrior. Hellcat from Mech Warrior. And this tab right here isn't used for anything other than tabbing into this slot for the helipod mode. So, that's actually my favorite mode right there. But, continuing on to helicopter mode, bring the tail fin all the way back out, all the way. Lock those over. Lock that over. Spin the legs around. Pop that out. Slide it up, lock it down. Pop it out, slide it out, and lock it down. Now, when you line these up to peg in, make sure it's nice and straight, otherwise it won't peg together properly. Bring that back out. Open these panels up. Now, this little tab right here is going to go into this little teeny slot right up under here. So, kind of wiggle that in there. Oh, there we go. I didn't have the waist slid all the way forward and locked into place. And this tab here is going to go into this little slot right there, and that tab into that slot. Like so. Come on. There we go. Split that open, and now we have him in his helicopter mode. And this helicopter mode is ugly and bulky, but it's obviously a helicopter of some kind. And what I like best about this is you flip them over, you can tell these are the legs, but it blends together really well. There's no exposed robot head or nothing. This is a helicopter. Now, yeah, granted, they could have done better about that gap there. I don't know how they would have, but it would have been nice. And you can take his weapons, mount them on here. And this is actually why I really don't care for the weapons the other two weapons, because once you mount those on there, where's this thing going to clip onto? You can do this. You can do that, but it just doesn't look right. Yeah, I really stick with the Hellfire missiles and the Gatling gun. There's really nice molded detail all over all the little rivets and stuff and all that stuff. My favorite part, though, is you could take the cockpit and pop it open, and you have a very nicely molded in little cockpit. And I can't get the angle right on it, but there is a molded in control panel right up in here. So yeah, this has been a kind of tired review of Transformers Generations Whirl. I think he's friggin' awesome. If you can find him, pick him up. He's available at Walmarts and whatnot right now, and Targets, etc. So yeah, go get him. He's a really fun figure. He's kind of fiddly. He's got some tight joints. Be aware of that. But yeah, really great figure. So thanks for watching.